I believe you may never heard of this shocking information about Uyghur Muslim in China, because whatever you saw and whatever you heard about Uyghur Muslim in China on the television by the Western media, all the information are lies. I hope you forget the very important point to understand the reality beside appearance, because where Antichrist Dajjal is connected, the reality and the appearance are exactly opposite to each other. This is a Uyghur uprising in China created by the Antichrist Dajjal and his allies CIA and Saudi Arabia and Turkey. Yes, they are behind this fake uprising of Muslims in China promoted by the Western media, and Muslims around the world are asking these questions, that the Muslims of China are being oppressed by Chinese government. China is bad country. Why Pakistan maintained a good ties with China? Let me start from the beginning.
I think understanding a little bit of the history of China is important. A lot of these Muslims that existed in China are what they call Uyghur Muslims. Islam has been present in China since the time of the Sahaba. We were talking earlier, Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas, radiallahu anhu, he actually led delegations through China for trade, and actually some of the oldest masajid outside of the Muslim world, I shouldn't say the Muslim world, outside of Masjid al-Nabawi, Masjid al-Quba, Masjid al-Aqsa, from the way we look at it as this always having been a masjid, a place of worship, and of course Masjid al-Haram, the Kaaba. Outside of those, the oldest reported masjid in the world, which still stands today, is in China, in Guangzhou. They call it the Lighthouse Masjid. And only 2 years after that, they built another masjid in Guangzhou, and these were built reportedly either by Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas radiallahu anhu, or somebody amongst his companions built it, but by his order. When they traveled through China and traded in China, they asked, is it okay that we build a masjid here? At the time, there was no concept of religion or even really worship there. So they said, okay, Bismillah, go ahead. And till today, these masajid are still there. So there is a very rich Muslim history that does exist in China. The Hui have a Muslim background. Now, what happened, especially since the establishment of the People's Republic of China, what has happened since then, China allows people to practice their religion. They do not allow the proselytizing or the preaching of any religion. Christianity, Islam, Buddhism, you name it, doesn't matter.
So it's important to understand what you're saying here. We Muslims are other Muslims besides the Uyghurs, and a lot of them have diluted into the Chinese culture. So there are a lot of Muslims in addition to the Uyghur Muslims. So that becomes important in trying to understand that how has China been with Muslims overall, right? And so now we're looking at the Uyghur Muslims.
Now you know who are the Muslims in China and the history of Chinese Muslim. We called them Uyghur Muslim. Now we see what really happening with them in China. Take a look.
This is the propaganda that is sweeping the world now. The Muslims of China are being oppressed. Every Zionist and every follower of the Zionists is singing this song. But guess who started it? The Uyghur Muslims of China live on the land on which the Belt and Road Initiative is to take place. Strategically located. That's where they are. So if you could send some of Dajjal's warriors, and the CIA will give them the weapons, and the CIA will give them the money, like they did in Chechnya. These Dajjal's warriors will then go to China and try to bring about an uprising sponsored by the CIA. And then the whole world will be told, China is oppressing. But if I am the Chinese government and the CIA comes to give weapons and money to Dajjal's warriors to come and wage war and fool the Uyghur Muslims to go fight in Syria. They're all over the place now. What will I do as the Chinese government? Answer, I'll stamp it out. Because you're threatening the state itself. So don't come to me crying that China is oppressing the Uyghur Muslims. Don't come to me with that. Take it to the CIA. Because that is where it started. I don't have the intellectual acumen of a donkey. I have the capacity to understand what is happening. And this is what is happening now. The CIA and the Mossad and Saudi Arabia and Turkey are the ones who have instigated the Uighur uprising. They did it in Chechnya, and Putin destroyed them. And they're doing it in China, and China will destroy them, and they deserve to be destroyed. But those amongst them who are innocent, and they say, no, we don't want to be a part of this. Guess what they do to them? These same jihad, they go and kill them. Yeah, they go and kill them, the same jihad.
Let me know your opinion on the comment section, and if you like this document, please do like and share to others.